If you are 60 or older and receiving Social Security or Medicare, I need your attention today. The Social Security Administration has quietly released the new income limits and penalty structures for 2026, and if you are working a job or running a small business while collecting your monthly check, the rules have completely shifted beneath your feet. There are 5 specific, costly mistakes people are making right now that will legally allow the government to erase your Social Security checks this year. These are not minor adjustments. The system knows exactly how to track your earnings, but no institution will ever proactively call you to warn you that your paychecks are about to trigger a massive benefit suspension. We are going to walk through the exact dollar figures you must not cross in 2026, and I will show you the precise steps to protect your retirement income before next month rolls around. Every year, approximately 2 million Americans receive an overpayment notice from the Social Security Administration. And missing these deadlines can instantly cut your household income in half. Before we get to the first trap, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. When federal agencies change the rules that govern your livelihood, they do not launch a public relations campaign. They do not send you a warning text. They bury the details in administrative memos. They update their internal databases, and they leave you to find out the hard way when your direct deposit suddenly drops or disappears entirely. I dig through these federal releases so you do not have to, bringing you the exact numbers and the concrete steps you need to safeguard your money. Subscribing ensures you never miss a critical update that could impact your financial security. Make sure that bell is switched on, and let's get into it. The first mistake is ignoring the strict new 2026 earnings threshold if you have not yet reached your full retirement age. A staggering number of seniors claim their benefits early at 62 and continue to work, assuming their Social Security check is untouchable. But the federal government enforces a rigid cap on how much you can earn before they start confiscating your benefits. For 2026, the official Social Security annual earnings limit for anyone under full retirement age for the entire calendar year is exactly $24,480. If you earn even $1 over that $24,480 limit, the Social Security Administration will impose a brutal penalty. They will withhold $1 of your Social Security benefits for every $2 you earn above the cap. So, if you take a part-time job that pays you $480 this year, which is exactly 6 lists, $000 over the legal limit, the government will wipe out 3,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 zeros. And they do not just take a few cents out of each check. The system mechanism is blunt and unforgiving. They will completely stop sending you your monthly checks at the beginning of the year until they have recovered the entire $3,000. It is crucial to understand what actually counts toward this $24,480 limit. The Social Security Administration is only looking at your gross wages from an employer or your net earnings from self-employment. They do not count your pension payments. They do not count withdrawal distributions from your 401k or IRA. They do not count capital gains from selling property. And they do not count dividends from your stock investments. People miss this because they assume their wages and their Social Security are 2 different things, living in 2 different financial silos. But the IRS and the Social Security Administration share your W-2 data in real time. Do not wait until your benefits are frozen. Your one step today is to log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov, verify your current earnings estimate on file, and if your projected W-2 or net self-employment income for 2026 is going to exceed $24,480, you must proactively update your estimated earnings with the agency right now to avoid a sudden check suspension. The second mistake happens in the specific calendar year you reach your full retirement age. This is where millions of seniors leave money on the table because they mistakenly believe they are still chained to that $24,480 limit. If 2026 is the year you celebrate your 66th or 67th birthday and officially hit your full retirement age, you enter a special transition zone. For this specific 12-month period, your earnings limit jumps dramatically to 65, $160. And the penalty for exceeding it becomes much more lenient. If you earn over $160 in 2026, the agency will only withhold $1 for every $3 you earn above the limit, rather than $1 for every $2. Furthermore, they only count the money you earn in the months before your birthday month. Let us say your 67th birthday, which is your full retirement age, falls on August 15th, 2026. The Social Security Administration will only track the income you earn from January 1st through July 31st against that $160 limit. Any money you earn in August, September, and the rest of the year is completely ignored by their systems. Once you hit the month of your full retirement age, the earnings limit vanishes completely, and you can earn $1 million a year without losing a single dime of your Social Security check. The gap here is that people are so terrified of the early retirement penalty that they unnecessarily cut back their work hours or turn down promotions in the very year they are allowed to earn over $65,000 safely. Your one step is to look at the exact month you reach your full retirement age in 2026. Calculate your expected earnings just for the months prior to that birthday. If you are projected to stay under $160 during that specific window, you have total green light to maximize your income without fear of benefit withholding. The third massive trap involves the first-year special monthly rule, and failing to understand this will trigger benefit deductions even if your overall retirement income feels low. Let us say you retire halfway through 2026. You made $50,000 from January through June, and then you completely stopped working to start collecting Social Security in July. Because you earned $50,000 earlier in the year, you have already blown past the $24,480 annual limit. Under normal circumstances, you would not get a single Social Security check for the rest of the year. But the system has a hidden safety valve called the Special Monthly Rule, which applies only during your first calendar year of retirement. Under this rule, your earnings are evaluated on a monthly basis rather than an annual one. For 2026, the monthly limit is exactly $2,040, as long as you do not earn more than $2,040 in wages or perform substantial services in self-employment during a single month. You will receive your full Social Security check for that month, regardless of what you earned earlier in the year. When you file your initial claim for Social Security midway through the year, the agency automatically looks at your yearly earnings. But you have to actively ensure they apply the Special Monthly Rule to your record. If you are self-employed, the rule is even stricter. You cannot perform substantial services in your business, which the agency generally defines as devoting more than 45 hours a month to your business operations. Even if you do not pull a profit that month, simply working 46 hours in your shop or on your consulting business can completely disqualify you from receiving your check for that month. The mistake happens when people take on a tiny consulting gig, a holiday retail job, or a short-term freelance contract in November, and they earn $2,100 in that single month because they breached the $2,040 monthly threshold. They suddenly trigger the withholding penalty, and their entire Social Security check for that month is wiped out. To protect yourself, your single action step is to heavily police your monthly income during your first calendar year of retirement. If you take a part-time job, you must instruct your employer or restrict your hours to guarantee your gross wages never cross $2,040 in any single 30-day period until the calendar flips to the next year. The fourth mistake is fatally confusing the standard retirement earnings limit with the disability earnings limit. If you are receiving Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI, the $24,480 limit does not apply to you at all. You are governed by a completely different, far more dangerous set of numbers known as Substantial Gainful Activity, or SGA. In 2026, the SGA limit for non-blind disabled individuals is strictly capped at $1,690 per month. For blind individuals, The 2026 SGA limit is $2,830 per month. Unlike standard retirement benefits, where earning over the limit just reduces your check, SSDI is an all-or-nothing cliff. They will not just reduce your check, they will terminate your SSDI benefits entirely. The gap here is that people read an article about standard retirement limits. They divide $480 by 12, and they falsely believe they are perfectly safe earning $2,000 a month while on disability. That simple misunderstanding will cost them their entire livelihood, their access to critical medical care, and their Medicare eligibility. Now, there is a separate program called the Trial Work Period that allows you to test your ability to work, where the 2026 threshold is $1,210 a month, but that is a highly specific, time-limited program. Once that period ends, the $1,690 substantial gainful activity cliff becomes absolute. Your one step is to physically separate these rules in your mind. If you are on SSDI and attempting to return to work, you must track your gross earnings down to the penny. Ensure your pay stubs never reflect more than $1,690 a month, and always report your work activity directly to the Social Security Administration using their official reporting portal so you have a paper trail of your compliance. The fifth and most devastating mistake is ignoring an overpayment notice and letting the new 2026 default withholding rate crush your household finances. This happens when the agency realizes they paid you too much, often because you failed to report your earnings accurately, or simply because their own ancient computer systems took 3 years to process a data update. When they catch the error, they want their money back immediately. Here is the critical 2026 rule change you must know. The Social Security Administration recently updated their recovery policies under an emergency message, officially enforcing a default withholding rate of 50% for all new Title II overpayments. This means if you owe them money, and you do not respond to their letter within the strict appeal window, they will automatically confiscate half of your monthly Social Security check until the debt is paid off. Losing 50% of your income overnight is enough to force a senior into foreclosure or bankruptcy. The tragedy is that you do not have to accept this 50% confiscation. The system allows you to fight back, but you have to initiate the paperwork. Filing Form SSA 6-34 is your formal request for a change in the overpayment recovery rate based on financial hardship. When you submit this document, you are legally forcing the agency to review your monthly income and living expenses. If you can prove that a 50% reduction would prevent you from paying your rent, buying your groceries, or covering your medical bills, the Social Security Administration can lower your withholding rate down to a manageable 10%, or sometimes just $10 a month. If you honestly believe you were never overpaid in the first place, or you think their math is completely wrong, you must file Form SSA 561, Request for Reconsideration, to formally appeal the debt. Your single step when you receive an overpayment notice is to immediately file one of these two forms. Do not wait for the automatic 50% withholding to kick in, because once they start taking half your check, it takes months of bureaucratic fighting to get that money flowing back into your bank account. Let's review the critical thresholds that will protect your income in 2026. First, if you are under full retirement age all year, your absolute earnings limit is $24,480 before severe withholding begins. Second, in the year you reach full retirement age, your limit expands to $65,160, applying only to the months before your birthday. Third, during your first calendar year of retirement, you must utilize the special monthly rule and keep your income strictly under $2,004 per month to avoid sudden check suspensions. Fourth, if you are on standard disability, you must never cross the $1,690 monthly threshold, or you risk losing your benefits entirely. And fifth, if you receive an overpayment notice, you must file an immediate appeal to block the agency from defaulting to a devastating 50% withholding rate on your monthly checks. Remember, money and protections exist right now with your name on them. but no institution will ever proactively notify you. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with any friend or family member who is currently working while collecting Social Security because they need to see these 2026 numbers before they accidentally trigger a penalty. Stay safe, protect your benefits, and I'll see you in the next one.